Good afternoon and welcome to Ewood Park for this Barclays League second division match between Blackburn Rovers and Leeds United. After all the excitement of the two cup ties against Aston Villa, if you want to keep the interest going after elimination from the cup, what better opponents than Leeds from across the Pennines in Yorkshire, with their superb following backing them to the hilt as they head hopefully towards the first division. Presently the leaders of the division, and a large bank of supporters over to my right hand side at the Darwin end, looking for another 3 points to help them towards that promotion and hopefully the championship. Meanwhile the Rovers slipping out of the promotion race. They're now 5 points behind a playoff spot, desperate for 3 points today in order to try and close that gap as much as possible and keep Leeds within range. The two teams today, Rovers side first, number 1 Terry Geno, 2 Nicky Reid, 3 Chris Sully, 4 Tony Finnegan, 5 David May, 6 David Mail, 7 Andy Kennedy, 8 John Miller, 9 Frank Stapleton, 10 Simon Garner, 11 Scott Sellers, ex-Leeds of course, looking for a good game again today. And the two substitutes at number 12 Leonard John Rose, 14 Ronnie Hildersley. Now the Leeds United lineup. In goal Mervyn Day, 2 Mel Sterland, 3 Michael Whitlaw, 4 Vinnie Jones, 5 Chris Fairclough, 6 Peter Haddock, 7 Gordon Strachan, 8 David Batty. Number 9 and making his debut this afternoon, Lee Chapman, signed in midweek from Nottingham Forest for 400,000. Ex-colleague of the manager here, Wilkinson, having spent 3.5 years under his charge at Sheffield Wednesday. And at number 10, making a welcome return after 7 games out through injury, Bobby Davison. Number 11, John Henry. And the two substitutes, 12 Ian Bird and 14 Jim Beglin. Two captains out in the middle, Nicky Reid and Gordon Strachan, with the referee, the FIFA official, very experienced man in the middle today, Brian Hill. Recall good memories for Vinnie Jones because he actually refereed the cup final where Wimbledon beat Liverpool and Vinnie Jones picked up a cup winners medal. Other things of interest today in today's line-up, the fact that Terry Geno retains his place after returning from injury against Aston Villa. Andy Marriott sits this one out. Keith Hill is still on the injury list, so David May fills in at number 5. On the Leeds United side, well, with Lee Chapman and Bobby Davidson up front, that's pushed out Ian Bird onto the substitutes bench. And just to show the strength of the Leeds United side, not even in the substitutes are John Pearson, Carl Schutt and Vince Hilaire. If Manchester United are the millionaire club of the first division, then there's no doubt Leeds United are the millionaire club of the second division. Although I suppose there might be some dispute from Newcastle and West Ham against that comment. Well, the ground well filled again as it was for Aston Villa last week. And let's hope we've got as good a game on our hands. Leeds already eliminated from the cup as well. Not quite in as good circumstances as the Rovers. They lost at home 1-0 to the fellow second division side, Ipswich Town. But it leaves both these sides to concentrate on the league. And away we go with the Rovers kicking towards the Darwin end, giving Terry Geno an early touch. It was interesting last week that he wasn't taking the goal kicks, but seems to be quite happy to kick it out from his hands, even though the bandage on his right leg indicates that his knee is still troublesome. Leeds with a long throw down the wing. Mail wins it in the air. Straight back to Whitlaw, plays it down the line. Chapman going after his first touch, but Mail robs him of that opportunity and clears the ball away for a throw. Vinnie Jones to take it, with Fairclough coming up from the back. He's already got 6 goals from set pieces this season. Obviously up there to use his height to advantage, and in it comes. Cleared away, but only as far as Vinnie Jones again, who crosses to the far post. And the Rovers head it back. Scott Sellers back to Geno. And Fairclough makes his way back to his defensive duties this time. Miller heads it on. Kennedy challenging with Fairclough, who's too strong for him. Garner cutting off the back pass, so he has to turn up the line. A throw in right on the corner flag to the Rovers. First chance for them to put some pressure on the Leeds United defence, and it's David May coming up, presumably to take a long throw. Obviously aware of this, Bobby Davison is standing on the touchline immediately in front of him, but he still gets the distance to the near post, and it's cleared away by Vinnie Jones for a corner after Mervyn Day missed it. First bit of excitement in the Leeds goal mouth as that ball bobbed around, perhaps got a bit more height than they expected and bounced above Day's head, but Jones cleared away. Short one. Reid looks up and crosses it to the far side, and it's there, number 1, Simon Garner! The Rovers 1 goal ahead after 2 minutes. Lovely short corner. We usually criticise the Rovers for taking short corners, but that ball from Sellers caught Leeds unawares. Nicky Reid completely unmarked, hit it over to the far side of the goal, and there was Simon Garner also unmarked, and he... with the encouragement of an early goal, and Leeds with a hill to climb now. Although with the way the Rovers concede goals, there's no way that this game can be called as being over yet. Strachan as Leeds try to pull it back as quickly as they can. David May quickly into the challenge. Chapman with his first touch. Stapleton clears it away only as far as Sterland, who's got a good shot on him, but doesn't get hold of it properly and scuffs it along the ground and wide of the post. But he is very dangerous, Mel Sterland. If he gets a sight on goal, he can really crack it, as he proved with both Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds United. He's got 3 goals already this season. Rovers just taking the time, giving it a chance to calm down a little bit. Fairclough fouls Andy Kennedy, protests about it, but referee ignores him. It's a free kick just on the halfway line. David Mill placing the ball as he likes it, ready to launch this one forward. Of course, 1-0 up, there's nobody going forward from the back, they're leaving it to the forwards. Slipped by Stapleton, and Finnegan picks it up in midfield, plays it wide to Nicky Reid, and Finnegan had moved too early. This offside trap of Leeds is very efficient. They must have caught us offside 20 odd times in the Zenith Cup match over at Ellen Road earlier in the season. Sully plays it back comfortably. In fact, that was one of the last matches Bobby Davison played, and he scored the winner as Leeds eliminated us from the competition 1-0. And in fact, in the Northern semi-final, they have to make the same trip as we did in midweek. They go to Villa Park to play Aston Villa. Whitlaw with a good ball across. Sellers just beats John Hendry to it. Rovers defence in the middle quite slack, allowing that cross to go right the way across the goal. A good job Sellers had come back to defend and played away. Good break that by Leeds. And now they've got the corner, which comes in. Flicked away by the Rovers, we're only to the edge of the box. Referee gets in everybody's way and Sellers plays it away. Miller, it's Kennedy free on the right, Garner on the left, but the flag goes up. An offside given, bringing a promising Rovers move to an end. Leeds were caught with men still up in the box from the corner, but the Rovers' concentration let them down and Garner wandered offside. Strachan playing the ball through. Davison onto it. Runs loose, and Leeds at the moment just not got the shooting boots on. They're tending to half hit these shots. Chapman there hoping he'd get a debut goal, but no chance of beating Geno with that power. Buzz of excitement around the ground, as you can expect when we've had a start like that to the match. A goal after 2 minutes. And here come the Rovers again. Sellers, Garner onside this time. In the box, shoots, it's the post! Well, that could so easily have been 2-0. Garner catching them asleep again on the left-hand side. Cracked his shot past Mervyn Day, and he must have been pleased to hear the twang of the post as it hit it and went behind for a goal kick. Well, if the ground was buzzing before, it certainly is now. What a lucky escape for Leeds. That would have given them a lot to do if it had gone in the bottom corner. Stapleton up, only gets half a head on it though, and it's picked up by Bobby Davison. Plays it back to Sterling, sorry, but that ball's going to run away for a goal kick. Well, in fact, a corner given. It's a bit of a surprise. Must have deflected on somebody as he played that ball through. Fools Scott Sellers as well, because he quite happily let it run behind. Luke, having a puzzled look at the referee, but corner it is, and Gordon Strachan to take it. Lovely spring afternoon here at Ewood, even it is mid-January. That's right over the far side. And Finnegan in the challenge. Flag goes up. It's a free kick given for the challenge by Finnegan on John Henry. And it's David Batty and Gordon Strachan. Batty plays it to Sterling. Will he have a crack? He certainly does, but yet again he's got the direction but not the power. For Rovers fans' sake, let's hope it stays that way. Garner again, sorry, putting the ball in, but far too far. Mervyn Day with a quick clearance, trying to catch the Rovers defence upfield. Chapman heads it on, and Sully has to hurriedly clear, only as far as Vinnie Jones. Chapman inside to David Batty, goes past Sully, looks up, he's tight in the corner though with David May having gone across the cover. Sterling puts a low one in. Finnegan beats Strachan to it, and Rovers on the break again with Scott Sellers. Kennedy on the right, Garner on the left, but Sellers' concentration lets him down and the ball runs away from him and gives Chris Flurkle the chance to clear it away. And a slip by Sully there lets Bobby Davison in. Very dangerous striker, just past the post. Well, if it could have been 2-0 at one end, that could easily have been the equaliser at the other. We suffered from Bobby Davison many a time, particularly when he was with Derby County, and he showed his sharpness there. Surprising really, having had 7 matches out. You think he'd be a bit rusty and it'd take a time for him to get his touch, but he played that one beautifully past Geno and just missed the post. Kennedy and Fairclough up. Kennedy wins it. Miller forward. Out to this side. Strachan wandering all over the pitch with a free roll at the moment. Looking for men forward. Finds Chapman. Always a very good target man. Now it's Whitlaw going down the wing with Reid in support. Back to Strachan again. Taking on his man. Very tricky winger. Goes past Reid as though he wasn't there. Got Frank Stapleton, who really does a good covering job back in defence when he plays in midfield. Is there to snuff out the danger at the expense of a corner. Gordon Strachan consistently taking the corners from either side of the pitch, just as Sellers tends to do for the Rovers. Big men up from the back again. Fairclough in the middle, but it goes past him. Chapman barges into Davison barges into Geno, who plays it quickly. This game's non-stop. Nobody's bothered about taking a breather. They just want the game back underway and try and get a goal as soon as possible. Really quick pace out there. Chance of Yorkshire from the Leeds end, and if anything's going to get a Lancastrian going, it's that. Throw into the Rovers. Nicky Reid looks around, everybody's marked though. Kennedy coming over towards the halfway line, and that's where he's going to throw it now. Beaten to it by Whitlow though, but the ball runs out for another throw. Gain about 20 or 30 yards though. Everybody pushing forward into the Leeds half now. Finnegan, Stapleton and Miller, the midfield players. As Reid throws it down the line to Garner, but beats him, and it's cleared away up to the halfway line by Leeds. Mail inside, but good challenge by Batty, wins the ball, and Reid tidies up. Fairclough wins the ball in the air, but just puts it up and retrieves his own header, and a better clearance this time. But a foul by Davison results in a free kick to the Rovers. Finnegan leaves it to David May. Rovers playing again with a reinforced midfield and nobody out on the right hand side. It's given them more solidity in the middle of the park, but perhaps lost them some attacking strength with neither Irvine or Gale down this right hand side. Sterling to take the throw. Long one, trying to find Chapman. Two Rovers challenging, but the ball runs free. Very timely challenge by Finnegan there. Stops Hendry. He completes the clearance up to Kennedy, who plays it to Miller. Long ball out to Garner. He's not going to get there though. Mervyn Day, is going to beat him to it. Poor ball from Finnegan. Gives Leeds the chance to put the pressure on. Hendry playing it wide to Sterling, low ball into the box, but it runs off David Batty and away for a goal kick. Well, I don't know what Leeds are playing at, but they're giving Garner absolutely oceans of room down that left-hand side of the pitch. And if they carry on like that, then they'll pay the ultimate penalty of another goal the way things are going. You think the message would have gone home by now. I don't know whether this is Mel Sterling trying to push forward to back up his forwards and not being able to get back or what, but it's very dangerous to give somebody like Garner as much freedom as they are doing. Played short here. Strachan moving down the left and the ball finds him. David May just manages to put enough of a challenge on for Strachan to run it out of play. This is one player I'm really looking forward to watching today, Gordon Strachan. I used to love watching him in a red shirt at Manchester United, and apparently he's really been turning it on since he went to Leeds as well. Used to play regularly down the right hand side, but seems to be foraging more down the left hand side at the moment, and Hendry going on the right. Rovers coming forward again. Long throw from Nicky Reid, but headed out by Whitlow. It's going to be a throw just level with the edge of the penalty area. Kennedy shielding it, tries to put it across. He's shown his speciality last night. I should think he's got a variation ready for us today. David Mail cuts out the danger. Beginning to find his form now in the Rovers side, having been displaced by the competition from Keith Hill and David May for most of the season. Very hard challenge there from John Miller on Strachan. Kane is actually over this ball now with Whitlow. Plays it inside. Rovers leaving Batty with plenty of room, and he has a crack, but it goes about 2 or 3 yards over. I'm afraid if the Rovers have got a weakness, it's covering men who are coming in on goal from about 20 yards outside the box. they just seem to stand around like dummies on the edge of the area and question each other as to who's going to go out and make the challenge. And as you might expect, nobody does. And many a time a player gets a free shot from about 20 yards out. And we definitely can't afford that, because Leeds look already through Sterland and Batty as though they're prepared to have a crack if given the opportunity. Finnegan coming forward now. Out to Chris Sully. Finnegan makes a run down the wing, but it's cut out by John Hendry, the ex-Bradford City player. Yet again, another dangerous player whenever he played for Bradford City against us. So many men on this Leeds side that you have to keep an eye on. Stapleton, bit of tricky footwork. Still boxed in on the touchline. Works his way clear, but Sterland intercepts and clears away. And then takes a bang from Frank Stapleton. I think it was more as Sterling followed through than anything. Referee insisting that Mel Sterland is treated off the pitch, and I suppose if he shouldn't be able to make it back, they've got an ideal substitute in Jim Beglin, the ex-Liverpool player. That miss-hit shot finds its way to Miller, but Miller's offside. Downfield, ready for the long kick. David May up, only gets half a header on it though, and Mickey Reed completes the clearance up to Garner. Loses out to Haddock though, offside again. This is Leeds' tactics, and the Rovers have got to watch what they're doing. It's no good bleating about it. This is the way they're going to play the game, and the Rovers forwards have got to keep the concentration and stay alert and stay on side. Otherwise it'll ruin every move they build up. Two chances to clear for the Rovers. Ball runs loose. Hendry with a shot, and a good job that Geno managed to drop on it, with Davison and Chapman both coming running in, waiting for any slip up. Fairclough and Kennedy, that'll be a familiar battle this afternoon. Fairly even Stevens so far between these two. Chapman beaten by David May, but finds Strachan. Finds Batty, who's filling in for Mel Sterland in the right back position while he's off the pitch. This ball down to Davison, but it's running away from him. Goal kick to the Rovers. Just looking over, Mel Sterland still laid flat out on his back, and in fact they brought a stretcher over, so it looks as though the injury could be more serious than it seemed at the time that it occurred. And in fact Jim Beglin now down on the halfway line, waiting to come on as a replacement with 20 minutes gone. Nice to see Jim Beglin back on a football pitch. Very seriously injured. If anybody saw the Liverpool game in which he played and got a very bad break in the leg in several places, been on loan to Plymouth and has now returned to Leeds and fighting for his first team place. Got the opportunity now to show just what he's worth. Very good play before the injury, but it takes a lot to come back from a leg break as bad as that. Confidence being the important thing. It'll be interesting to see how he goes on now. Oh, what a lucky escape for the Rovers there. It looked as though David May's back header was going well over the bar, and it suddenly dipped, clipped the back top of the bar, and the Rovers lucky to head it away for a corner. Well, it could easily have been two apiece, and that would really have been another gift goal from this Rovers defence, who definitely believes in helping the opposition as much as possible. Fairclough up in that position he loves. Scott Sellers flicks it on, and Garner picks it up. 4 Leeds men round him, but he wins a free kick. Well, I should think David May's missed a beat there as the ball clipped the top of the bar, and relief all round as it was cleared. And the Rovers are back on attack with this free kick from Sully, launched just to the edge of the box. Headed away by Haddock. And Hendry clears downfield to Davison. Free on the right hand side now, Hendry. Stapleton covering and blocks his progress. Chapman there, he's always available, but in fact a foul throw given. Vinnie Jones doesn't look too happy about it. Good explanation off the referee, waving his hands around in frustration at the fact that it prevented a Leeds attack on goal. Gives the Rovers chance to clear now. But Leeds pick it up and coming forward again. Vinnie Jones back to Haddock. And Mail clears it to safety. Inside to Vinnie Jones. Room to move in. And Whitlow overlapping. Good cross into the box, but Geno cuts it out. Looks as though he loves to overlap, this Michael Whitlow. Open support with Strachan whenever possible. This time Fairclough wins the battle. Strachan puts it back to Whitlow. And Davison and Chapman move over this side, but he puts it inside. Back to Whitlow. Tries to find Chapman, but Mail intercepts. Vinnie Jones to Strachan, back to Jones. Jim Beglin, first touch of the ball. Finds Hendry. Vinnie Jones, but a poor header. Gives Miller the chance to clear downfield, and Garner pick it up. Back to Nicky Reid. But a hasty clearance. But wouldn't you clear it in haste if Vinnie Jones was coming flying at you at full belt? And it's Jones now flicking it on. Chapman to Davison. Be interesting to see how these two players combine up front. In theory it should be a lethal combination from Leeds. Chapman to flick it on, and Davison with his speed and control to take it in the box and pick his spot. Strachan under pressure from Finnegan, has to play it away for a throw to Scott Sellers. Dummies inside. Strachan goes to challenge him, but he finds Garner wide on this right hand side. For a change, there's no offside flag, but Garner's forced back. Reid overlapping at full back. Nobody in support though. Trying to take on his man, but he's not got the pace. And Davison plays it away. The Rovers still with the pressure on. Throwing about 3 or 4 yards from this corner flag. And David May's coming up to take a long one again. Similar tactics that Davison comes over. I thought it'd be better for David May to release the ball about a yard or two from the touchline so that he clears him, but he's not doing. He's coming right up to the touchline to throw it. Kennedy up, and Fairclough forced to clear it behind for a corner. Well, the last goal came from a corner. Have they learnt the lesson, Leeds? Looks as though Whitlow is keeping a better eye on Nicky Reid than he did when the Rovers' goal came. And Sellers puts it right into the box. And Mervyn Day knocks it down under challenge of Stapleton and then retrieves the ball. And Leeds come streaming out of the penalty area. Mervyn Day waiting for them to get upfield before he clears it down. And it's Chapman. It's likely to be his blonde head that they look for all the time with those clearances from Mervyn Day. Very strong in the air. Good ball through, Finnegan. Well, he didn't look offside, but the linesman was absolutely certain that he was. That's the way to beat the offside trap though, a man from midfield running through. And the Rovers must have been very, very close to getting away with it with that ball, but offside it is. And Haddock plays it forward to Fairclough to flick on. Fails to do so. Bit of lackadaisical play there from Stapleton. And Sellers clears it away, up to Kennedy, under challenge from Haddock. Holds off the challenge, plays it to his left, Finnegan. Sully wider still, Miller going through, but offside again. In fact, Miller was offside about 5 yards inside the Leeds half. Only thing he needed to do was just stay a yard in his own half and wait for the ball to go. But he was too impetuous and set off on his run and walked straight into the trap again. Really does ruin a game of football, this offside trap. And I, for one, am glad the Rovers don't play it. But if you're top of the table, then you must believe it's effective. Ball running loose on the edge of the box. But Stapleton, yet again, doing a very good defending job, although his back pass nearly let Chapman in, who caught Terry Geno on the back of the head as he tried to leap over him. He's okay though, just giving the side of his head a rub. Signals he's all right, and everybody moves downfield ready for the clearance. Whitlaw, long header down, David Mail gets hold of it, runs loose to Chapman. Vinnie Jones, but his shot is blocked by David May. Runs loose to Whitlaw, tries to come inside, Chapman picks it up. Vinnie Jones out to Strachan, beaten in the challenge by Miller, but Leeds retrieve it and keep up the pressure. Finnegan beats Jones beautifully, flicks it over his head, but it's Batty with it. Finnegan offside. Crowd really getting frustrated and booing these tactics of Leeds. But it's up to the Rovers to find a way around it. It's a tactic Leeds won't stop, they'll carry on using it. Jones inside, but a poor ball picked up by Miller. Finnegan times it properly this time. Kennedy, Garner over the far side, Finnegan in the middle, Day out. Haddock with the ball, desperately trying to prevent Ellis from getting it because Mervyn Day was about 30 yards out from his goal. Now it's Batty, out to Strachan on the left. They're trying to stretch this Rovers side. Player wide on the right hand side. Puts it through, but a poor ball, and Geno collects. Well, just on the half-hour mark, despite quite a lot of pressure from Leeds, the Rovers still one goal out. Free kick given for the challenge by Chapman on David May. Seemed to injure himself more than he did David May, limping away. So I think it's the kind of injury he'll run off easily enough. Yes, he's running okay now. David Mail puts this ball to the edge of the box. Kennedy up, but beaten by Fairclough. Vinnie Jones back to Whitlaw. Looks down the line, but support there from Davison. May puts the ball downfield, and what do you know, offside. Keeps the pressure on the Rovers because every time they try to put an attack together, only thing it does is result in a free kick to Leeds around the halfway line, so they can launch another ball into the penalty area, trying to find Fairclough's head, but it's over him and May clears it. Kennedy onto it. Stapleton coming up, not often seen him forward, going on his own, playing it through, but the offside flag goes up again. You just wonder if Frank Stapleton could have taken that ball on himself. He did start to push forward the first time, and then the second time he played it through. I just wonder if his best tactic would have been to take Leeds on his own then. It's the best way to beat the offside trap. Nobody can be offside if you're playing the ball to yourself. Mervyn Day coming well out of his box to play this ball with his feet. That's another familiar tactic from Leeds. Mervyn Day likes to come downfield like that. Feels as though he can be more accurate with his clearances from feet rather than from hand. Batty putting the ball over Sully, finding Strachan. This time wandered over to the right hand side. Beglin picks it up. Good cross in. David May, very decisive header, clears it out halfway into the Rovers' half, where Haddock finds it and puts it up to Beglin on the right hand touchline. Henry further forward, but he's put it into the box. and ironic cheers from the Rovers supporters, as this time it's Leeds who are caught offside. Well, the pattern of games between Rovers and Leeds is that ever since Leeds were relegated in 1982, they've played 7 visits here and never won. And the Rovers have gone to Ellen Road, including this season, paid 8 visits, and they've never won there either. So I suppose with a 1-0 scoreline, it's sticking to that pattern of results in the second division clashes between these two sides. Fairclough to clear it down. Not far enough to find Chapman, but Batty picks it up. Back to Beglin, long ball but no Leeds player there, but Nicky Reid makes a present of it, and Leeds build up through Gordon Strachan and Vinnie Jones. Lovely ball to Strachan, Miller takes him down, and this could well be a booking. He's already clattered into the back of Gordon Strachan once, and Strachan was going past him when he brought him down with a late challenge. And sure enough, the book is out and John Miller's name is going into it. First booking of the afternoon after 33 minutes. Paddock putting the ball forward to the edge of the box. Flicked on. Kennedy just played the ball down there and was very fortunate that the Rovers were able to get it clear. In fact, a challenge on the edge of the penalty area. I didn't see what happened, but David May, and I'm not certain who the Leeds United player is, both laid out presumably a collision of heads. That's what it looks like. In fact, it's Lee Chapman on the ground for Leeds United. They won't want to lose another player, already having seen Mel Sterling carried off on a stretcher. Drop ball on the halfway line. Batty and Stapleton in for it. Finnegan in the chase. And here comes Whitlaw. Kennedy come back to cover him. Strachan here with Miller. Miller will have to be careful with his challenge now. I presume just as he was one-on-one with David Platt in the cup match, he's also been delegated the job of keeping an eye on Gordon Strachan. In fact, as I speak, he's followed him about 30 yards over to the right-hand side of the pitch. Kennedy doing a good job coming back there, and Reid completes the tidy up. Chapman and David May both seem to have fully recovered from that clash, both moving around okay now. Not fair enough to find Kennedy, it's Batty, and Vinnie Jones puts the ball downfield. Strong challenge by Nicky Reid, robs Davison, and David Mail plays it back. This Rovers defence going to get a stern testing this afternoon. There's no better forward line in the second division than this. Mail on that ball. Stapleton just putting it up high in the air. Clearance from Fairclough, but offside again as Nicky. Now it's Batty looking for Strachan. Straight out to Batty, who has another chance to move forward. Somebody going to challenge him, it's Scott Sellers. Out to Beglin with Hendry with him, and he lets it run on to Hendry. Cuts inside, plays it to Batty, but a poorly directed ball runs away for a goal kick. Well, bitterly disappointing results here at Ewood. Rovers have actually only got one win in the last 8 home games. They've won one, drawn 5 and lost 2. And in fact, in those 8 games, they've scored 15 goals. It's absolutely staggering that with an average of nearly 2 goals a game, they've only won 1 of them. But it's down to the fact they've conceded 20. And here comes Kennedy trying to add 1 to that lead that the Rovers have got at the moment. But a poor ball from Kennedy with a lot of Rovers players upfield. And now Vinnie Jones makes a present of it to Miller, but Strachan retrieves it. Vinnie Jones, elbows going into Scott Sellers' face, and a bit of a challenge there between Davison and Miller, but the referee in quickly to tidy it up. And it's a free kick to Leeds, which Strachan plays quickly, finding Henry on the opposite touchline. And it's Batty streaming forward into the box. Rovers close him down, and Sully gets an important foot in, but Strachan puts a beauty in, just clearing the bar. Well, I was only talking. Don't know what happened to Geno's concentration there. It seemed to go completely. I mean, there's no Rovers player out on that edge, or if there was, it was Sully, and he was quite a way away from it. And Geno was a long way out of his goal, and nearly gave them a gift one. But the Rovers escape again, and Kennedy's so surprised that he's onside that he actually hesitates and doesn't set off in full stride, and gives Whitlaw the chance to beat him to it. You've got to go forward and wait for the linesman's flag. It's no good looking to see if he's made the decision or not. Just wait for that whistle, plant it in the net and see if it's awarded. Chapman taking on his man. Protest from the crowd as that challenge by David Mail is treated as a foul by the referee. And I think it's a good job Mel Sterling's gone off the pitch, because he would normally be the one to take the free kick in this kind of position. And in fact, in the league match at Ellen Road, he hit the post from this kind of position. A cluster of Leeds players over the ball. Strachan hits the wall, bounces free. Cluster of Rovers players, only clear it out as far as Strachan, who moves to his right. Geno coming out and collecting on the challenge from Davison. Well, that Strachan shot was never going to find the mark. Straight into the wall, but nearly produced an opportunity for Davison. Can be very alert in the box, but he's perhaps not got his full sharpness back after his absence from the game. I suppose one thing is that if you do go to challenge the goalkeeper, as Simon Garner did then you've got to make up about 15 yards to get back on side. Fairclough intercepted by Kennedy, but Fairclough's going to beat him in the chase for this quite comfortably. Nicky Reid, no challenge. Stapleton helps it on. Fairclough downfield. Davison heading wide to Beglin, but Scott Sellers is going to pick this one up. Plays it inside, but only finds Batty. Tries to retrieve it, but Batty holds him off. And the ball down the wing. Sully heads it away. And a free kick given against Frank Stapleton for pulling on Batty's shirt. Can Leeds get an equaliser before half-time? About 3 minutes from the end of the first half. But of course there'll be quite a bit of injury time. Launched into the box, flick on by Chapman. And just beat Davison as it shot past the post. And didn't give him the opportunity to snake out a leg and put it in the corner. Nicky Reid playing the ball down the line, but too far ahead of Garner. Another narrow squeak from the Rovers. Leeds really have put on the pressure. Really dominated this half, Leeds. Apart from the first 10 minutes when the Rovers scored and hit the post. But since then, Leeds have come back, put a shot just wide, and also seen David Mail head against his own bar. So feel unfortunate still to be behind. Long throw by Jones, Fairclough! And it was a good job that Chris Sully got across there. Seemed to take a deflection off Chris Sully, which took all the power out of the shot, and Geno was able to drop down on it and save it on the line. Miller flicks it on. Garner picks it up. Tries to play it through Fairclough. Fairclough beats Kennedy in the challenge. And Whitlow plays it wide to Beglin. He finds Hendry. Vinnie Jones up in support. Could be too short for Hendry, but he picks it up and plays it inside to Strachan. Whitlow going wide on the left, and that's where the ball's gone. But a very strong challenge there from David Mail. Clears it away before Whitlow can whip the cross in. Vinnie Jones going to take a long throw, insisting that Batty leaves it to him. In it comes. That was Chapman and Davison combining again. Chapman flicked it on, and it was just fractionally too high for Davison, and he could only get half a head on it, and it flicked off his head and away for a goal kick. Well, I should think the Rovers will be relieved to get to this half-time whistle. Still a goal ahead. Really are playing some very nice football, Leeds, and the attacks are coming from all over the park. And Chapman and Davison looking better and better as the game goes on, and they start to move into tune with each other's ideas. It must be a dream as a fella striker to play along Chapman. He puts lovely flicks in, and there's another one. Fruitless again for Leeds though, but surely one's got to pay off eventually. Nigel Clough really benefited from it at Nottingham Forest, and possibly missing Chapman's influence at the City ground. A number of times Chapman will flick it on and see Nigel Clough through. Now the Rovers, can they stay onside? Yes they can. Garner on the left, can he keep it in? He does. Recovers his balance well, but not in time to prevent Jim Beglin. No, it's David Batty beating him to it. And a free kick given for Simon Garner's challenge. And cleared away by Leeds. We're now moved into injury time. And Strachan tries to find Davison. Beaten by Mail. Mail into a fierce challenge with Vinnie Jones and comes out the winner. Stapleton skates round Jones, and as Leeds build up an attack, the referee brings them back for a free kick for offside. As you can see, just half a yard inside the Leeds half. Haddock to take it. Constant pressure on the Rovers' goal. But they're keeping them out as the half-time whistle goes. Just 2 minutes of injury time played, and Blackburn Rovers go in 1-0 in the lead, scored by Simon Garner in the second minute from a Scott Sellers corner, helped on to the far post by Nicky Reid, but quite fortunate to have that lead in the bag as they make their way towards the dressing room. A half dominated by Leeds United. Just a note of interest before we kick off at the start of this second half. That is that when I came in the stand, the ticket number on the outside for season ticket holders was number 13. And that goal that gives Rovers the lead was the 13th goal of the season for Simon Garner. So obviously the Rovers don't treat 13 as an unlucky number. And underway we are now with Davison playing it wide. Strachan back in the left back position. Plays it up to Beglin. Skates past Scott Sellers. Thinks about advancing upfield and plays it back to Mervyn Day. Now will he roll it out? No, he'll kick it straight downfield. Sellers wins it, but only as far as Beglin. Foul there by Sully. giving Henry a welcome back onto the pitch at the start of this half. Sheffield United are winning at half time, so that should cause a boost to Leeds. They need to try and keep their impetus going. Vinnie Jones now putting the ball through. Geno quickly out and beats two Leeds players to it who collide with one another, Hendry and Davison. And in fact a free kick given for that challenge. Leeds United slipping up a bit recently over the Christmas New Year period after a very good draw, 2 apiece at Bramhall Lane. They lost 1-0 at Barnsley and then could only draw 1-1 against Oldham Athletic. And of course, if you put that together with elimination from the Cup at Ellen Road to Ipswich, that means they've drawn 2 and lost 2 of the last 4 games and are a goal behind at Ewood Park today. And with Sheffield United winning, they need the 3 points to stay as league leaders. At the present time, the 2 points ahead of Sheffield United as Vinnie Jones brings them forward to Strachan. So if they lost and Sheffield United win, then Sheffield United would displace them as league leaders. That ball running to the edge of the box. Jones flicks it down to Hendry, puts the cross in, but no Leeds player there. May clears it, Sellers in space. Beglin hesitates as Kennedy's free on the left, and that finds Garner free on the right. Can he come inside his man? He goes outside and shoots! And the cheers of the crowd are stifled as they realise the ball has actually gone wide of that right-hand post. But yet again, Garner finding himself in plenty of space, this time down the right-hand side of the pitch, and he nearly took advantage of it. And it would have been 2 minutes into the second half, the equivalent time to which he scored in the first half. A pretty obvious free kick there as 2 Rovers players clatter into the back of Lee Chapman. He now advances upfield to join his partner Davison. Fairclough staying back on this occasion. Played short to Strachan. Inside to Chapman, who'd lost David May for a minute and does it for a second time. And to the derision of the Leeds supporters, the referee rules that as a goal kick. Two behind on 47, and then a 5-point gap down to Sunderland and Oldham, both on 42, followed by Swindon and Ipswich, both on 40. And those are the promotion and playoff spots. And down in 9th position, 5 points adrift of a playoff spot, you'll find the Rovers with 35. So they desperately need 3 points today. Otherwise the gap could be 8 points tonight. They've got to keep as close to that pack of 6 as they possibly can. And already the chances of catching Leeds are so remote as to rule it out. They're 14 points behind Leeds. Even a win today would leave them 11 behind. Foul on Davison. Strachan immediately looks for players to play a quick 1-2, realises they're not there and settles it down and gives chance for Leeds players, especially Fairclough, to find his way into the box. And Beglin's come up on this right-hand side as well. Played into the middle of the area. May beats Chapman and Sellers clears it, but nobody for the Rovers up. They were all back in their own box. Sully to Sellers. Garner this time. Finnegan free. And Kennedy. Can they stay onside? Kennedy taking it himself. Finnegan in the middle. Garner further over still. But Kennedy's attempted cross rebounds off a Leeds player, and they come forward through Beglin and now Strachan. Mail him first time, but nobody will reach that. It'll just run out for a throw. Well, Rovers could do with a win. They've only won 3 games out of 11 here at Ewood. I'll be quite surprised if the scoreline stays at 1-0. tend to be at least 4 games in every home match on average this season. So we could have plenty of excitement still ahead of us as Stapleton loses out in the challenge there from Hendry. Ball runs loose and Vinnie Jones picks it up. Batty playing it wide to Hendry. First time cross, Strachan shoots, it's deflected in by Chapman! 1-0! And the Leeds fans celebrate behind that goal at the Darwin end as the equaliser goes in, and a goal on his debut for Lee Chapman. That shot from Hendry just flicked on, changing the direction by Lee Chapman, and it flew into the back of the net with Geno beaten by... And the supporters now are triumphant. They'll definitely feel that they can win it now, but Sellers in the box. Shoots, blocked by Irving Day. Well, after a goal at one end, we nearly had one at the other as Sellers went through, picked his way into the area and tried to flick it past Irving Day with his right foot, but Day managed to get down and block it, and Haddock completed the clearance. David May with a long throw. Kennedy flicks it on. Garner tries to turn, but is blocked. Appeals for a penalty. But it's not given. And Leeds come away. That challenge by Peter Haddock. David May holds off Davison. In fact, a free kick is given. Felt as though the referee could have played advantage, but perhaps he, like the rest of us, needs a breather with all the excitement. Kennedy wins the challenge with Berkoff, but Haddock clears away. And an elbow in the face from Vinnie Jones on Finnegan earns the referee's displeasure, and a free kick in the Rovers' favour. Well, Leeds will feel that equaliser will give them the impetus now to go on and win this match. The Rovers yet again at Ewood Park have got to battle their way back into a game. And that's what they attempt to do now, but a free kick given for backing by Kennedy. Leeds away form fairly symmetrical. They've won 4, drawn 4 and lost 4. It's their home form that's put them up at the top. They've won 10 and drawn 3. Still to be defeated at Ellen Road. That ball from Vinnie Jones, cut out by Miller, and a free kick given for the challenge by Whitlaw. Rovers need to get a grip on midfield, which has been taken over by Vinnie Jones, David Batty and Gordon Strachan. And it's Gordon Strachan there as I speak. Whitlaw belting the ball downfield, Davison underneath it, heads it back, Vinnie Jones picks it up, loses out though. Offside given, Scott Sellers. Garner shows his frustration by hurling the ball away in disgust. One experienced professional chatting away in a friendly manner to another. Leeds play it short, picked up by Batty, Beglin wide of him, but he goes to his left where he finds Strachan. Now it finds Beglin. Hendry further over, who plays it inside to Vinnie Jones, back to Beglin, shooting chance, but he plays it to Hendry, takes on his man, Miller's there, corner given, as the ball clattering to a photographer. No, it's a goal kick given, sorry. My mistake. Down the right hand side, Strachan down the left, Chapman and Davison hunting as a pair in the middle, and Vinnie Jones and David Batty in the middle of midfield, and a very strong defence as well. It looks a very good all-round side. I wouldn't be surprised to see them end up as champions of the second division at the end of this season. But let's hope that's done, achieved should I say. I would love to see a victory. Sully playing it forward, Kennedy and Fairclough. Kennedy heads inside, May up in support, and a corner given as it goes off a Leeds United player's foot. Vinnie Jones, I believe, and Scott Sellers runs over to take it. Support coming in as the Rovers look to regain the lead with this Sellers corner. Over to the far side of the box, flicks off Stapleton, Miller shoots, but he shoots wide of the post, and in fact surprisingly enough a corner given. It must have deflected off a Leeds United player. I thought Miller, shooting right footed, could have shot for the right hand corner of the goal, but he tried to find this left hand corner and missed it with quite a distance. But another opportunity here for Sellers, this time towards the near post, cleared to the edge of the box. Sully picks it up, back to David Mail. That won't find anybody other than Mervyn Day in the Leeds United goal. Had more time there, David Mail. Sully beats Davison to it, clears it away for a throw. Davison takes a quick one, sets Hendry away. His shot is pulled by Sully, but the referee plays the advantage. But not on this occasion, as Sully has a second attempt to contain him and can only do so with a foul. Back to Beglin as Leeds pile on the pressure again. Davison flicks it wide, Vinnie Jones blasts it over the bar into that packed crowd of supporters who've come over the Pennines to support the team this afternoon. In fact, I noticed there are a crowd of supporters on the embankment looking through a very narrow gap at this Darwen end goal, presumably the people who turned up without tickets, this being an all-ticket match, and have taken advantage of a position on the hill over the far side. They don't see very much for there, just presumably get a glimpse of half the penalty area and the goal, but it might be enough if you're a Leeds fan. You'd have a perfect view of Chapman's equaliser, and that'll have made the trip worthwhile just on its own. Strachan with the corner, Vinnie Jones moves over for a short one, but he signals him away. Fairclough and Whitlow comes wider still to Davison, flicks it into the box, but Stapleton clears it out. Beglin puts a long ball down this right-hand touchline. David Mail gets a knee to it and rather awkwardly clears it away, but effectively. Leeds looking to take the lead if possible over Chapman though. Beglin picks it up, beats Finnegan, plays it wide to Batty, looks inside, Strachan's taking up a good position. First time to Hendry, back to Strachan, beautiful move, Chapman inside, but he can't find him as the ball's cut out. Lovely move that from Leeds though, quick first time passing, and if that ball had gone across, Chapman was all on his own, ready to poach his second goal of the match. But fortunately for the Rovers it was blocked, and Strachan to take the corner. Rovers struggling to get out of their own half at the beginning of this second half, and there's a good header by Fairclough, flicked over by Geno. As I said earlier, Chris Fairclough has already got 6 goals this season. Very dangerous on these set pieces. He actually scored the equaliser at Ellen Road against the Rovers in the league match earlier in the season. That game was drawn 1 apiece. Strachan again, flicked on but by a Rovers player. Played to Beglin, looks to put it across with his left foot. Fairclough still up from the corner, runs free to Chapman. May gets in the challenge, shot by Strachan, blocked. Giving some more space, it's played out to Beglin. Players running forward into the box for a very poor ball. Ends that 2 or 3 minutes of pressure from Leeds where they looked certain to take the lead. In fact, referring back to that league game at Ellen Road, which finished 1 apiece. The Rovers goal was also scored by a defender, Mark Atkins, who's still out with a virus and missing from this game today. Fairclough winning it in defence this time. Really have got the bit between the teeth, but that challenge is coming to an end with a free kick for the foul by Davison on David Mail. Well, Leeds United look absolutely determined that every time they get this ball, they're going to put the Rovers' defence under pressure. And the Rovers holding out as yet, but the prospects aren't good unless they can start to put the pressure onto the Leeds United defence, which they've only achieved on spasmodic occasions in this second half. Just over the hour mark. These teams deadlocked at 1-1. Simon Garner for the Rovers and Lee Chapman for Leeds United. But Leeds by far the better side and bossing this show. Rovers hanging on by the skin of the teeth. Stapleton, Sellers, but Haddock clears it upfield. Misses out in his challenge there. Lets in Garner. 3 men over the far side. And it's in the net. Offside given. Disallowed. Well, that should have been the leading goal for the Rovers. Far too impetuous. Garner had got free on the left-hand side, and there were 3 men streaming through, completely unmarked on the right-hand side. But they moved, well, Finnegan especially moved ahead of Garner, and although he planted the ball in an empty net from Garner's centre, he'd just gone that yard or 2 in front of Garner, and the goal's disallowed, and we're still at level pegging when the Rovers should have been 2-1 up if Finnegan had used his brains and made sure he stayed onside. Very poor reading of the game by Finnegan there. And now are they going to pay the penalty as Hendry comes forward? Ball runs loose on the edge of the box, but Finnegan clears upfield to Garner. Sellers over Haddock's head, and Garner picks it up. Haddock slows him down though, takes the impetus out of the move and plays it away for a throw. Sully to take it. Stapleton looking upfield, far side, Kennedy. Can't find him though, it's intercepted by Whitlow and played out for a throw as the Rovers fans get behind the side now, hoping they can get back into a match which seems to be slipping away from them. David May, a long throw. Davison not in his path this time for the first time in this game. Scott Sellers tries an overhead shot. It looked to be going well wide, but suddenly Mervyn Day realised it might sneak in the corner and shepherded it past the post. And the referee urged the displeasure of the crowd by awarding a free kick for a foul with quotes round it by Sellers on Beglin, when 3/4 of this crowd were convinced that it was the other way around. chant, but I won't repeat the words. But I don't think the crowd are too happy with the man in black. Ball bouncing around, only half cleared. Vinnie Jones collects it, but Finnegan intercepts, and Vinnie Jones wins the ball back with a very good challenge. Batty looking to his left, but a very poor ball there, and an equally poor ball from Nicky Reid, who had all the time in the world to control it and find Andy Kennedy down that right-hand touchline. Just too hurried and snatched at it. Strachan on the ball. Good job Sully got to that. Henry was running free on the right-hand side of him. Chapman onto Strachan. 2-1! Chapman again, the influence in the move. Strachan brought it down and belted it into the back of the net past Terry Geno, who had no chance whatsoever, and Leeds United take the lead. Blackburn Rovers 1, Leeds United 2. And the way Leeds United are playing, they've got a mountain to climb to get back into this game now. The Rovers renowned from coming behind, but it's a very good side they're playing, who are full of confidence and with a bit between the teeth now. Absolute sea of Leeds supporters over to my right-hand side, bouncing up and down with joy as they watch that Strachan shot fly into the back of the net. Superb goal from Leeds. It's been coming for a while, and one of the biggest influences on this match, Gordon Strachan, is the one who gets it. Vinnie Jones now, as Leeds go for the kill. Surely another goal would finish off the Rovers. Just halfway through the second half. Free kick to the Rovers. Miller in a tangle, he's been in a few this afternoon. Runs loose, Sellers shot blocked, and away for a corner. That goal coming in the 68th minute, and Gordon Strachan's 9th of the season, 4 of which have come from the penalty spot and 5 from open play. Sellers into the midst of a crowd of Leeds players. Big scramble in there, looked like a rugby scrum for a minute, but now it's come loose to Simon Garner. Haddock beats him and clears it away. So this could be Leeds' first win here at Haywood Park in 8 attempts since they were relegated to the second division. Could mean they retain the leadership of the second division tonight. Well, Garner tried to get hold of that flick from Kennedy, but ended up helping Leeds to clear it. Mervyn Day in a tangle for a moment, but recovers it. Garner walks up to make sure he picks it up. Day wastes as much time as possible before he does so, signalling everybody down so that Garner's got to make up as much ground as possible. And the old professional there, Simon Garner, fouls Mervyn Day so that he can quite comfortably make his way back to an onside position. Strachan having a word with the referee and saying, come on ref, you know what he's doing, why couldn't we just have played advantage? Throw into Leeds, just inside the Rovers half, to be taken by Jim Beglin. And a free kick given against Scott Sellers for the challenge on John Hendry. Beglin, Strachan and Batty around the ball. Batty moving away. Beglin left-footed, trying to find Chapman. Chapman flicks it on, but David May clears it away. Can Sellers pick it up? No, Beglin wins the challenge. Strachan plays it through to Fairclough. Chapman forward of him, but May cuts it out. And Rovers have the chance to clear now after Fairclough's unfair challenge on John. Could this be the year they do it? Frank Stapleton coming off to be replaced by Leonard John Rose. "72 minutes gone when that substitution took place. Can John Rose put some fire in this Rovers forward line? In goes the cross. Kennedy flicks on, out to the edge of the box. Garner met by a posse of Leeds defenders. Strachan looks around and finds the always available Vinnie Jones. And Hendry picks it up on this right-hand touchline. Stapleton brings him down. In fact, I misinformed you, it's Kennedy who's gone off to replace by Leonard John Rose. So I presume that I mean Leonard John Rose just going up in the forward line as a straight replacement. Good challenge from Sully, but Sellers a bit lucky to push the ball through Hendry's legs. And Garner picks it up, loses out in the challenge to Haddock. And Sellers loses out in the confrontation with Beglin. Very tight on this touchline, but Leeds find a way clear to Chapman. Not as good with his legs as he is with his head. But Miller is penalised again. Familiar story this afternoon. He's been involved in many a challenge, Miller, and was booked in the first half for one of those challenges. Well, in fact, the combination of two on Strachan. But it's not stopped him beavering away in midfield, challenging for everything. Beglin launches this ball with his left foot. Geno had come out, and if Chapman or Davison had got a flick on that, he would have been dead and buried. But fortunately, they both missed it, and it skidded through to him. Quarter of an hour left as Rovers launch an attack down the right-hand side. But it's Leeds who come away with it. And out to play for a throw. Well, Leeds have only once looked like getting out of the second division since '82. That was 3 or 4 years ago when they missed out in the playoffs. Other than that, they finished in mid-table. And if the Rovers were disappointed last season at losing at Crystal Palace, imagine the disappointment at Ellen Road. They went to a third game in the final against Charlton, to extra time, were leading 1-0 with 5 minutes left, and then Charlton scored 2 goals in those last 5 minutes to preserve the first division status and keep Leeds down in the second division. But it looks as though that 8-year spell in the second division is going to come to an end this season, and the odds are they'll go up as champions, and well deserved on this performance today. Vinnie Jones wins in the challenge. And again. Vinnie Jones back in the action. Sully playing it forward. No offside flag. Mervyn Day shows his skill by use of his head. We've seen him use his hands and his feet in this game. And that completes the set of 3 as he heads the ball away on the edge of his box, realising it wasn't going to come all the way for him to collect it in his hands. David May wondering whether to take a short one to Sully, but it's a long one, trying to find Frank Stapleton. Leeds had it clear, but Stapleton in the challenge. Vinnie Jones wins it. Leeds on the break. Lee Chapman lets the ball run ahead of him, and David Mayle beats him in the challenge. In fact, it looks as though Jim Beglin is feeling a knock. Has just signalled to the trainer. Lee Chapman flicks it over David May's head to his partner Davison. One impressive duo, these two, Luke. As Leeds keep the pressure on, with Vinnie Jones about to take what I presume will be a long throw into the penalty area. In it goes. Low and hard. Fairclough loses his sense of direction and the ball clatters off him. But the Rovers just can't get any kind of shape to the game in this second half. Apart from the early opportunity after 2 minutes from Garner, it's been absolutely dominated by what you can only classify as a magnificent Leeds outfit. But you never know with the Rovers. They're the most dangerous when they're behind. Reputation has been built on comebacks, so who can tell? One little slip or a good move and the Rovers could be back in it. I think it's more likely that Leeds will get a third, but let's see how things develop. Hendry, dangerous foot up there from David May, results in a free kick to Leeds. It looks as though it's Beglin again to curl it in with his left foot. It is, trying to find Chapman on this side, which he does. Chapman brings it down. Beats Stapleton, far post, and 2 Leeds players, Fairclough and Davison, I believe, get in each other's way, and the ball harmlessly plops off one of their heads away from a goal kick. Well, as I've already said, we can't complain about Vinnie Jones' challenges this afternoon. He's been a perfect gentleman in them, and in fact he's showed quite a lot of skill in midfield, but supporting Strachan and Batty. Sellers, not seen him out on this left hand side for a long time, takes his man on, pulls the ball back. Sully in support, flicks it inside, but he won't reach that. It's resulted in a corner though. Now, can the Rovers pull an equaliser out of the bag? Sellers to take it. David May up. Away by Leeds. But David May will get this ball as Leeds stream out looking for offside, and that's what they find. Finnegan moved forward and was caught. Another substitute taking place. Ronnie Hildersley coming on for John Miller with just 10 minutes left. Perhaps that's a precaution. Miller's been caught in a few clashes in this second half, and perhaps making absolutely certain that he stays on the park. He's already been sent off once this season, and with a booking to his name in this game, perhaps feels that it's not worth taking the risk. So on comes Ronnie Hildersley. Both substitutes used by the Rovers, Hildersley and John Rose, to try and change the pattern somewhat. Chapman out on the touchline this time. Finds Hendry inside him. Pushes it further on to Strachan, but a good interception and clearance by Sully. Garner trying to find Nicky Reid, who was going like a tank down the right-hand touchline, but he's played out off the Leeds defender for a throw just inside the Leeds half. Ronnie Hildersley was going to take it, but he's now left it to Nicky Reid. Looks up, tries to find Garner, but Leeds come away. That's the Rovers ball though. Played forward for a change. There's no Rovers player offside, but there was no chance of any of the three people getting to it. Mervyn Day plays it with his feet. And Vinnie Jones puts a long aimless ball downfield. Disappointing second half from the Rovers. Put very few moves together. Strachan into Davison. Very hard to pick out a single Leeds player. Good all-round team display today. And in comes across, but poorly directed. Chapman was lurking in the middle. Garner underneath this one, but beaten by Fairclough. Groans from the crowd as David Mail just whaps it downfield. Strachan again. Really hasn't let me down today. I was looking for a good display from him and he's produced it. Just a pity he's had to be against the Rovers. I'd sooner have been watching him playing on the television against another side. But you've got to praise him when you see good play, and this is very good play to Chapman. Oh, what a miss. That should have finished it off. Strachan free on the left. Chapman hung back, screamed for the ball. Strachan gave it him, and he just blasted it over the top. When with a bit more calmness he could have picked his spot. And the 3 points could have been in the bag. Sellers back to Sully. Then Sellers goes down the left. Stapleton up there. Ball runs loose though. Vinnie Jones puts it downfield. Hildersley in the centre circle. Rovers trying to stay onside, but in trying to stay onside they have to cut off in mid-stride, and therefore there's nobody going forward to pick that pass up. And Leeds come again through Hendry on this right-hand side. Really has given Sully a test in time. And Sully, not up to the test, takes him down. Well, Sully has found Hendry a handful on the opposite side of the pitch. Nicky Reid, in a similar fashion, has found his hands full with Gordon Strachan. Beglin curling it in again. It's been dangerous every time he's taken a free kick. But the Rovers coming away. 2-on-1 though. And Garner easily beaten to it. No offside flag, he looked about a yard off. But Hendry cuts into the box, squares it, and Chapman with a lot harder chance this time tries to put it in the bottom corner and puts it about 3 or 4 yards wide. But he was under a very stiff challenge from David May. That was a lot harder opportunity than the previous one, and that was about all he could do. Nearly an opportunity there for John Rose to equalise, but the ball skidded away from him into Mervyn Day's hands. And time's beginning to run out. Just 5 minutes left now of this match. And Leeds now will set off on a happy journey over the Pennines with 3 points in the boot of the coach. Beglin again. Fairclough not venturing forward at this late stage of the match. Finds Chapman. Vinnie Jones gets there, and if Davison had managed to flick that on, it could have been embarrassing, but he missed it and it went away for a goal kick. Rovers in a big hurry to take it. They realise time's running out, and they've got to be as quick as possible in getting the ball downfield, which David May does now. Finnegan. Well, it looked a fair challenge from Vinnie Jones. He just seemed to get up a lot higher than Finnegan, but the referee gives the free kick the Rovers' way, and Hildersley to take it. May on the edge of the box, but beaten to it. Hildersley plays it wide, but that familiar offside flag is raised again. Garner in his frustration belts the ball away, but I don't see how it helps the Rovers' cause at all. The only thing it does is waste time, which is all to Leeds' advantage. He should know better as a seasoned professional. He's just playing into their hands. Beglin, and they definitely haven't missed Mel Sterling. Beglin has filled in superbly for him here in this right back spot. It looked a blow when he went off in the early stages of the game, but when you've got a good experienced player, ex-Liverpool, in Jim Beglin, Rovers tidy that one up as Leeds try to put in a forlorn challenge, and David Mail comes away limping. He perhaps stretched himself in reaching that ball, preventing Hendry getting to it. Whacks it away now, but obviously feels the effects of the clearance. David May forward. This is an opportunity. Penalty, surely, yes it is! Well, Finnegan going forward, having beaten the Leeds offside trap with just 2 minutes left in this match, is blatantly brought down in the box to give the Rovers the opportunity of an equaliser, but who's going to take the responsibility for it? Kennedy missed one against Bradford City, which cost us 2 points. Stapleton missed one at Villa Park, which could have meant elimination from the Cup. And now here's the opportunity to save the Rovers from defeat, and the responsibility goes to the youngest, or one of the youngest players on the pitch, David May. What a responsibility, and the chance to open his account with the Rovers first team. He hasn't scored a goal to date in competitive football for the Rovers first team, and he's now got the opportunity to do so from this penalty against a very experienced goalkeeper in Mervyn Day, and he puts it over the bar, and the Rovers have now missed 3 successive penalties and have thrown away the opportunity to salvage this match in the last 2 minutes. And a very sporting gesture there from Gordon Strachan, who immediately went over, put his arms round David May's shoulders and gave him as much consolation as he could. A bitterly disappointed David May works his way back into defence, but surely to goodness a more experienced player than David May should have taken the responsibility. And there goes the final whistle. So Leeds United win the first match here since they were relegated in 1982. Breathe a sigh of relief as they come off the pitch, as the last minute penalty goes over the bar and means that they retain the 3 points. You've got to admit they're thoroughly deserved. The Rovers a goal ahead after 2 minutes by Simon Garner. The equaliser from Lee Chapman on his debut in the 52nd minute. The winner from Gordon Strachan in the 68th minute. And in between those 2 goals, a Finnegan goal disallowed for offside, and in the very last minute a David May penalty goes over the bar what drama we've had this afternoon, but it's no consolation to the Rovers fans as they lose another home match, 2 goals to 1, and Leeds retain the leadership of the second division.